In today's video, we're prepping 3 of my crypto ASIC miners to be sent out for hosting. Today's video is sponsored by the team over at #vortex.eu. Let me introduce you to #Vortex, your go-to shop for top quality ASIC cooling and silencing solutions. #Vortex specializes in helping fellow ASIC miners convert their noisy ASICs like Bitmain and Ice Rivers into cool and silent money printing machines. In addition, #Vortex doesn't cut corners on quality. They use high temperature resistant polymers to ensure durability against the power and heat of modern day ASICs. Finally, every dollar counts as a home crypto miner, and #Vortex totally understands. So their pricing easily beats out the competition. Put it to the test. #Vortex.eu accepts Bitcoin and all major credit cards, shipping worldwide. Head on over to #Vortex.eu and use checkout discount code Hobbyist to save 10% on your entire order. What is going on, miners, and welcome back to the Hobbyist Miner channel. Well, as I've talked about in previous videos, I am maxed out on my power at my 2 crypto mining sheds. Each of them can hold up to 150 amps, and man, ASIC miners just eat that up so dang quick. So today I'm going to bring you guys along as I prep 3 of my ASIC miners to be shipped out to BlockOps mining. All right, so let's take a look at our patients here today. These will be the 3 ASIC miners that I am shipping down to BlockOps mining. I actually had an opportunity to visit them more recently down in Arkansas. Did a full mining farm tour. I'll put a link to that video down below if you guys want to check it out. So let's look at what we're sending out here. So this is a Bitmain amp miner. Ooh, we're gonna focus. There we go. Bitmain amp miner S19J Pro. This is the 100 terahash model. And this is one of the 3 that I picked up 2 years ago, maybe or so. And I'm kind of taking some of my older ASICs, some of the ASICs that I've done a boatload of content on already. I have, and this is a great example. I have much newer ASICs that I've enjoyed doing more content on, like the S19K Pro, the S21, the M60, all of those newer Bitcoin miners. I'm just kind of keeping them local so I can do content on them for you guys. But some of these older 100 terahash units, it's like, I want to keep them up and running, but I'm not going to keep them here. It's kind of silly. Second one, we have another S19J Pro. They're both, they got a little rub on, a little ruggedness on them. They've had some wear and tear. This was the one that I got that was used. This one was brand new. Now, this one, I actually had installed that 𝐕 control board in not too long ago. And I actually swapped it out with one that I actually received from, let me find it. Quick off the cuff. Do I remember where it is? I think it's right here. Let's take a look. Oh, get out of there. There we go. So it says 𝐕 board in it because that's exactly what's in here. So I had an 𝐕 board in this one short term because the control board actually went in it. And I went ahead and picked up from Altair Tech. They actually carry the Xilinx boards. And I mean, I ordered it and got it within like 3 days or so. So I put back in a traditional Bitmain control board because when I'm sending this out for, I'm going to keep this for later if I ever need it. When you're sending out an ASIC, you probably want to have more of like the traditional Bitmain hardware in there. It just makes it much easier for them to manage, control. So I'm like, all right, perfect. We'll throw that in there. The last one is the Bitmain amp miner L7. This is the one that I actually bought, I don't know, a year ago from the Mining King. Huge shout out to him. This is the 9050 model. And yeah, so these are our 3 units that we're going to be shipping out today and getting prepped. So let me give you the rundown of everything I do other than just grab it, throw it in a box, and hope for the best. I think these are things that you really don't think about until you get into a situation where you're like, all right, I need to look into hosting. Okay, so first thing I did was I put a label here with the Hobbyist Miner. Let's get that there, just to make it easily identifiable when they arrive and when they are on the rack. And the second thing I did was I named them. And the names that are here are the names that match exactly what is the miner name on the pool side. So if I start to have any trouble, I can reach out and say, hey, it's this, whoa, that is not focused. It is, you know, this make, this model, and because I have two of the same, so S19J Pro 100T-OPS2. So really for BlockOps is kind of how I labeled it out there. OPS2, which works out nicely. So I have other labels to add here. So like this one, Hobbyist Miner, and then we have on this one, L7 9050G OP1. So OPS1. So if I had a second one for an L7, I would add that to that. So that's just something I like to do. I've done that with sending other units out for hosting. I don't know, maybe it's a peace of mind, you know, who knows. All right, so second thing I plan to do and I want to do is get each of them plugged in and then make sure they have the latest firmware on them. So let's get my L7 plugged in here. All right, so this is pretty simple. We're literally just gonna go out to each of our units. So I just finished doing my S19J Pro 100 terahash units. Just checking here, even though the publish date says December 29th, 2022, I'm still gonna download it. I'm still gonna apply it to each of those 100 terahash units. Because to be honest with you, who knows what, you know, because I found a lot of the times the date, the publish date does not match the exact date on the firmware. You can also come in here, like this is the L7, come in here and find it as well. Here she is. Now this one here says February 24th, 2023. I'm still gonna do the same thing, even though this is pretty much, oh my gosh, an actual 1 year off. We'll still go ahead and apply this to our L7. So another thing I like to do to prep these for hosting is take a note on each of these units actually has a unique serial number. And you know, you send these away and it's like, how are they identifying that these are yours? What if the labels weren't on here, the labels came off. It's really gonna come down to serial number. So even though I'm sending these out and I'm telling them, what I like to do is I actually go ahead and just record in a spreadsheet and store it on my computer is the serial numbers and the make and model. And then I'll send these today to BlockOps Mining and say, hey, I'm shipping these out. Here's the tracking numbers, and here is each of my serial numbers. So when these do arrive, it's very easy for them to go, all right, what serial numbers are these? Oh yeah, the Hobbyist Miners sent them, and most likely they're a hosting company. They're gonna record these for their inventory as well. So that's one thing that a lot of people overlook and don't even think about. All right, so next thing I'm doing is the name that I kind of put on the label here, the L7 9050G-OPS1. I've gone ahead and actually on the miner itself, so I'm mining to unminable because I'm stacking Dogecoin with these. So I've gone ahead and put that in the name on actually the pool so that it's much easier to identify, as I talked about in the very beginning of the video. I think that's super important just to make sure that everything is uniform. All right, so before we get these into shipping boxes and sent away to BlockOps Mining, the last thing that I really like to do here is we need to blow these out and we need to just wipe them off. It's literally the peace of mind. I know they're very quickly going to go ahead and get dirty, and I know that they are on a maintenance routine schedule when they are hosted, but I love using my X-Power. If you guys don't have anything easily accessible to kind of blow out your GPU mining rigs or ASIC miners, these work awesome. They just suck in air from the bottom and then blow it directly out, and this is no joke. And then I'll go ahead and wipe it off with wipes or a wet damp rag. And all I'm gonna do is just that peace of mind of when I send it to the hosting company, it's been blown out and it's been wiped down at least to some level. But these have been running in my sheds, so like, you know, they're not the prettiest at all, but that's a typical, you know, ASIC miner. So let's get these out back and cleaned up. right, so what do we have left to do? Well, we have to ship these. And I'll be honest, I don't have the original Bitmain Antminer boxes. I actually, mistakenly, wife told me, hey, we got to get rid of these, taking up too much room. Thankfully, I've gotten some additional ASICs in, so I have some for these. Now, the boxes are actually very close to or unique to each of the different models because they are a little bit different. Like here, you can see the L7, this is kind of a short front end versus this side is much, much bigger. So talking about shipping, I don't recommend that you ship these in any old box. Especially, you know, it's a valuable asset of yours, you know, big investment. So the Bitmain boxes are absolutely the best with that foam. They work out really, really well. However, there is some risk to shipping these when they got Bitmain tape all over them. They got Antminer on the outside. Now this one's my D9 box we're going to be using, but it's got like that on it. It's like, man, these things stand out like a sore thumb. Like, especially going through shipping and everything, you know, there's more and more risk. More and more people know who Bitmain is. So I got this idea from 𝐶hustler. I actually bought two ASICs from him, a KA3 and a K7 recently, and look what he did. He wrapped them in this brown paper bag material, had an arrow for this side up, which is appreciated, and wrote fragile all over it. Now, this may seem like simple, but it definitely hides, you know, that look, it hides that Antminer, that Bitmain label and everything on it. I think it's a fantastic idea. So what I did was I bought a roll of this stuff. Now I'm not shipping this much, so I'll show you real quick. My kids have turned it into drawing out there on the ground, which is perfect to keep kids busy. And I'm going to use it to wrap each of my boxes. So huge shout out to 𝐶hustler, a really good idea. All right, guys, so I got some work to do. I got to get these wrapped and then shipped to get them down to BlockOps Mining to get them back up and running. If you guys want more details or you want to see the tour that I did of BlockOps Mining, I'll put a link directly down below. Hopefully this was helpful to you or just got you thinking, because I'll be honest, when I needed to ship these out, I was like, what do I need to do to really get ready for this? You know, what are the things? Now, this isn't some major like exercise, but just some helpful tips that I thought would help you guys out if you're in the same situation that I am and you're seeking and looking for hosting. Some things I thought about. Well, it's going to wrap things up for today. If you guys want links to anything I talked about, I'll put them directly down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Sorry to interrupt your video, but check this out. I constantly get emails from the community asking me about trustworthy hosting facilities in the United States that I recommend. Well, I got you covered. Listen up. A few months back, I visited BlockOps Mining's brand new facility in Central Arkansas. The team there was super professional, knowledgeable, and everyday miners like you and I. After visiting the facility, I sent them a few of my ASIC miners for hosting and have been super happy with their service and communication. Go contact BlockOps Mining directly down below in the video description and tell them the Hobbyist Miner sent you for great pricing on miners and hosting.